Shambho Mahadeva. So last session we said Deva Rishi Narada said about his knowledge of various subjects and requested, "Hey Bhagavan, Adhyayami." Adhyayami, we have explained what is called Adhyayami, and that should be the attitude of, why did I explain so much on Adhyayami? That should be the attitude of a disciple who is seeking for the spirituality and Brahma Tattva. Others can say, "Teach me," or "Make me understand," "Explain to me," you know. And one can also keep on practicing, like, you know. That's what I said about the Abhyasena Kaunteya. Abhyasa. Abhyasa is not just executing a karma repeatedly, is not abhyasam. No? What is abhyasam then? He is an abhyasi, we said. The one who automatically does, suppose somebody teaches yoga, he should not program whether should I breathe first and exhale, then do it and do this, do that, after this step, next step. It should automatically come. He is an abhyasi. The one who doesn't know that is not an abhyasi. He has to become the abhyasa, not learning. It is not learning. It is not memorizing. It is not teaching. It is not remembering. It is nothing of that. That is why it's difficult to write Upanishads or Vedas. It is difficult to write the true spirituality. Write or explain also. When I say write, it is explain. That's why most of them are sutras. Upanishads are only sutras. The experimentation, exploitation, exploration of these sutras have to be very deeply done, and this depth of knowing the sutra will depend upon the Guru's involvement in the Brahman. Not understanding the Brahman, not Sakshatkara. Involvement in the Brahman. You see. He who lives in the Brahman, as I told you last I read about the chapter about the Guru, is it not? So he said, ordinary knowledge, he has said, is inadequate here, and it can be only through the grace and the guidance of the one shown Guru, And when the knower lives in the world with this body and other people live in the body, we said about the conscious withdrawal and the automatic withdrawal. That's what we were discussing. So in the conscious withdrawal, only the question comes conscious withdrawal. In the conscious withdrawal, there has to be the grace of Guru and the guidance of Guru. Here teaching doesn't arise at all. Here are not supposed to, say suppose, you're walking a difficult path. Sometimes what we do, I don't know whether you all have experienced, and the villages people have experienced, or the mountaineers must have experienced. Or when you cross a river, we used to do it when small, no? We used to go to school. There was no bridge at that time for a small river was there. So you have to cross the river. Summers there is no problem because only little water. Monsoon is a big problem. So what they do, one man will go first. Somebody who can cross. There will always be somebody to make the children pass through. And when he walks that way, he knows where the shallow places are there. No? Everybody who knows about it, where they filled up with sand. So he walks through that. He may be having only water up to this. In some places the water may be up to this. So he walks through that. No? Now the people who are following that, no? There may be 50 people also, he has to just follow him like this. If he steps on this side or this side, probably he will sink. You see. This is called guidance. Guidance is not that you go to that stone and from that stone walk up to that stone. It's also, we call it as guidance. It's not guidance. Here the guidance is, the Guru's guidance is. That's why they called that following the footsteps and all that has come of the paryaya of these things, you see. That's called the guidance. Because why he is not telling? Every day he has to do the same thing. Crossing the river or cross mountaineer, the leader will go on that. Seeing where is the snow, where it is safe, where it is unsafe. Others have to just follow him. They don't go one step this way, one step this way. No. Because he doesn't know what is on this side, nor he knows what is on the left. But he knows this because he has already walked on this path. So guidance is only through a path which is known. The one who knows the path only he can guide others, is it not? Is what I am trying to tell you. Is why the difference between guiding and teaching, is it not? Teaching means I can tell you, 50 degrees northeast you go like the ships go. Then you take the course for 50 nautical miles, then turn to your right at 75 degrees, which is also guidance. Here there can be a human error, machine error, or even the situation at that time might be different also. When he told you take a right turn after 50, 75 nautical miles, turn right, things would have been different. By the time this man reaches that place and turning to 75 nautical miles, the climate would have been different. There may be a storm. There may be something else, he will not be able to do that. You see, the difference in the guidance. That guidance is, that's also guidance, you see. That guidance is only a guideline. Yes, that's a guideline. We also say, no, it's a guideline only, it's not exact. Something like this. Now, to establish the guideline as the fact, as the guide, as the guidance, One has to experiment it and experience it. Either you do that or you have to follow. So it's a grace and guidance. Not only guidance, the grace is also required, he says. Kataksha is necessary. Otherwise, even while the guiding factor goes there, if it is a little distance, somebody can get a brain wave. Why should I follow only this? Why not I try? Overtake others and go faster. So he can take a diversion from that and he can land in trouble. See. So not to have that thought, just to have the patience of following, there should be grace. If the grace is not there, he will be tempted. It's a great word. Don't misunderstand grace as just as an ashirvadam or just as grace period, grace time. Don't take it as a grace as just a favor. Don't take grace as something by which you can just do what is the karma that is supposed to be done. No, grace has got great depth in it, you see. Grace itself is an Upanishad. Because the grace will come to you only because when you have faith. If you don't have faith, an unconditional faith, the one who walks in front, I just walk. An unconditional faith has to be there. See, it's already known he is walking already. One should know that he is already walking. Why should I experiment to have another PhD, a doctorate on that? This PhD in disbelieving. PhD in disbelieving. Why should I have it? For not to have that, you should have faith. Again, faith is what? You know that samarpana. Through samarpana only faith comes. Faith doesn't have a proper, exact translation. Faith is an after effect of samarpana, a total samarpana. Through nishkama bhava. Absolute nishkama bhavena samarpana. When there is a nishkama bhava samarpana, then the faith automatically comes. The faith, if you explain it, is nothing but it's not, we call it as in English, they call it as dependency. Dependency can be done only when we have absolute faith in him, is it not? Somebody, suppose you are in trouble, you want to climb up somewhere and you are not able to, so you ask somebody to give his hand. That's a simple thing I am telling. So you see, he says that you give your hand, I will pull you up. Now you tell me, if you do not have faith on him, will you be able to give your hand to him to pull you up? No. Suppose the thought comes, if this fellow leaves his hand, what happens? Or he also slides back, what happens? Both of us will fall down. Now if you know such things, if you keep on thinking that, you won't have faith on him, is it not? To have faith, what is necessary? Whether right or wrong, I am not talking about it. To have faith, what is necessary? You have to nishkama bhavena samarpanam has to be done. Fine, I have to believe that he will pull me up. That's all. If I don't do that, I will not be in a position to go ahead. It's called faith, but then one can interpret it as, is it not a foolish thing to have faith on something or somebody about which we do not know? Is it not a foolish thing? Absolutely right. The argument here is absolutely right. If it is not known, it is foolish to be having faith on that. Suppose we don't know the rock will fall down or not, sitting on the rock, saying that I have got faith on this, will not be a reasonable agreement of accepting the true faith. Then whom to have faith with? How to create this faith? And how the faith can come? Faith can come only on the basis of, there are certain things. One is that, as I told you, this is the initial part of it. In a guru, what happens when the disciple goes there? He experiences the quality of faith that has to be created by him, or experiences that where he should surrender. This is not the information created by your intelligence or by your mind or indriyas. We can call it as a reflex also. Like when you look at the mirror, you are seeing a reflection, and that you are saying, it is me or it is my reflection. How do you say that? You have to technically explain. How do you say that what you are seeing in the mirror is your reflection? Because when you lift your hand, that also lifts the hand. When you scratch, that is also showing it is scratching. Other objects kept in front of it is also shown there. It is like that. It is reflecting that. Okay? Alright? Okay. Same way, when a disciple sits in front of the Guru, he gets the informations. He said some questions answered by itself. He said relief. He gains relief. He gains certain instincts from the Atma. Says there is an attachment. There is a relation. There is a reflection. That's why reflexes. And you get the words. I have written this in the Guru Disciple, I think, where how to relate. Not that everywhere and anywhere. Not everywhere and anywhere. You will feel only at one place where you are supposed to surrender. You will not feel 1,000 places to surrender. No. Even though you might be physically doing bowing up in every temple or everywhere, but your inner sense who have got this has to come from the grace again. This has to come from your past experience, past life karma, because the faith has got a lot of connection with your past karmas. If the karmas are of those nature of spirituality, you will automatically guide it towards that. Otherwise, one has to begin from there only, from the other part only. So this has got a great connection. How to get the faith. These guidelines what I am giving is only a guidelines which who have got a basis of that or a basic of that. See, the one who is into trying to acquire spirituality through materialism, he will not be in a position to feel or understand the samarpana bhava towards the true spirituality. He will have samarpana bhava towards the material, the object. The bhautika jivan. He will have more dependency on that. It can be money, it can be power, it can be strength, it can be relationship, it can be this, it can be that, where he will totally devote. It's not that. He might. What happens is that his progress is only at that level. It is because of his previous karmas. Whereas I get an intuition suddenly. How do we get all this intuition? No. Even though all these things I have to do, I have to spend my little, whatever time, that I can spare. Or I should spare, not only I can spare. That may be wrong. I should spare in my life some time for my spiritual development, which I am not aware and which I am not able to contribute with my own intelligence and action, which is beyond my capacity. But I have to do it. This intimation, this has to come. Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. Am I right? Forgot? No. Ichha Shakti has to come. What is that Ichha? I have to listen to that. I have to go there. This Ichha comes based on what? Experience. How do we get the Ichha to eat the same thing again? Based on the experience. Somebody gave you first. Say they try it. So you got that experience from the experience. You see. This is Ichha Shakti. So everyone, in everything we have to have Ichha Shakti. Not only in each and every activity. So there has to be an Ichha Shakti. This Ichha Shakti comes from the experience. That experience is definitely spirituality. See, especially in India and Asian countries mostly, our tradition is that from ages onwards, lots of great Maharishis, Tapasvis and Jnanis have done tapasya here. And their intuition, their blessings are always there. Whereas you do the same tapasya in the materialistically advanced world, it will be very difficult for you to approach the true spirituality, Brahma Tattvam, in that. That's why you will find in the Western practices, the Dvaita Siddhanta is very important. Advaita Siddhantam is established I am talking, not explaining, established only in India. Because the Maharishis, Tapasvis and Jnanis have from thousands of years have been practicing and experiencing and established the Advaita Siddhanta. That is why in every factor Advaita Siddhanta, including mathematics, 0 as the biggest value has been found out from our country. Yes. And this value is what? Advaita Siddhantam. What is the value? I do not know. 0. What is the value of 0? Nobody knows. 0 in this value in the sense in the name, in the meaning of counts. Invaluable is also 0. No value is also 0. Which is that? Advaitam. No value is also that. Maximum value is also that. Is Advaitam. Neither bad nor good. Bad is also that. Good is also that. This is the Advaita Siddhanta, where the Brahman is alone. Brahma Tattva is the Brahman, is the only the truth. This Advaita Siddhanta has come here from here only. So, meditating and practicing things much easier. So what happens is that people who have born in those families, whose parents have got this inclination, whose environments have got this inclination, whose number of janmas has this inclination, will have a taste of approach towards the spirituality. At one point of time, mind will say, I must know something about it. This is not way of living. This should come. This will automatically come. When that comes, then only you will attend such classes, is not. Otherwise, in one day they will get up and go away, because it's not very entertaining to listen, I think. No Madhuris and Rupa Gangulis. Vastrachyamu. There's no Vastrachyamu, so it's not very entertaining. Yes. So what happens? There has to be, what I am trying to tell you is that it's not suddenly cropping up in someone the faith, so that's why I said it's a very big subject. So it goes back to our ancestors, our practices, our our previous janmas, and a present correction of janma, even though previous janma may not be that. Now in this janma, because of the experience of that, I have to correct myself. Because I have slipped and fallen down there, I will not go in that way again because I will slip and fall. Is also rectification of karma in this janma. I should not go there, but I have to think somewhere else. That means you're looking for improvement. Oh no, that day I slipped. It may not be necessary that today also I will slip. So let me go there. And again slips. It's a repetition of janma, you see. But in this janma he says, no, why should I take a chance? I don't have time to take a chance to fall every time. Let me find another way. Is it not? So this is another way, even though you have a karma of there, but because of your intention of becoming, rectifying it, in this janma, you think like that. So that also can bring you towards the fulfillment of this Ichha Shakti, towards the Kriya Shakti. What's the Kriya Shakti? Kriya Shakti is that attending such knowledges. And then you realized when I attended the knowledges. Or even in attending means not sitting in a class and listening like this I am talking about. Attending in the sense, it can be while sleeping, in a dream. It can be in normal experiences suddenly, or with some incident or some examples. Suddenly you feel, why not I also do this so that I can find my own peace inside me, like Narada felt. So you wanted to have that peace, the peace of infinite, not peace of anything else. The peace of infinite you would like to have. So this, but you don't know how to interpret it, but you only know that there should be, something should happen to me. This is not the way. No, that this is called Ichha Shakti. Then you are attracted towards any of these sessions. So initially you might wanting to go and experiment many places. No, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. That neti, that's not comfortable. But suddenly you find, as I told you in my Guru Disciple book, it is there. Suddenly you find there are discomforts. It's not that life is full of experiments and your experiences of karmas. It's not that by finding, that's what all the gurus also say. They themselves have physical disabilities and problems. So it is not, some people go for only for the physical abilities to somebody. They are approaching, even though they are going to a noble man, but he is approaching with a sakama karma or sakama bhakti. He wants, he is not fault, he is not at wrong. He wants, I should be getting well, so you please give me Ashirvada, I will get well. He gives Ashirvada, he gets well, and he goes back. Finished. His requirement is over. And this requirement has come only to him, that Ichha Shakti is only restricted to that. So even in Ichha Shakti, you should have a limitlessness. In everywhere, limitlessness have to be there. When you are asking only for the health point of view, you are limited to your health, is it not? You are limited to that. Or some other desire. Limited to that desire. Third desire, limited to that desire. So one after another desires. You are not changing your status. You are only changing your subject of requirement, that's all. See? Whereas the status has to be changed. That's very important. So in spirituality is also that. Your karma, your execution, your listening, your execution of things might be different. But his status will not change. Now that he establishes himself that wanting to be there. Then he does this Kriya Shakti. In Kriya Shakti, what happens? You have to do certain practices, you have to do certain discipline, you have to do lot of this involvement of execution part of it. That's Kriya Shakti. In Kriya Shakti, you have to listen, you have to understand, you have to practice, you have to meditate, you have to do this. But then certain things you like, certain things you don't like. But you should always make yourself understand that this dislike comes only because the mind doesn't understand about it. The mind, which doesn't understand certain things, he will dislike doing it. It's not. Suppose you are given, we have felt it also. We all must have felt, in childhood, in our classes, when the maths teacher gives some maths which is known to us easy to solve the problem, or I know not easy, I know how to solve the problem, I am very happy. Even though the other maths which he has given, the problem he has given, which is not known to me, which I am not able to solve, I have got an aversion towards that. No, this is a little difficult. So what he says that this what you have given was good simple mathematics, I could do it. This paper is very difficult. See, the problem is difficult or the paper is difficult. We after exam somebody says the paper was difficult, the paper was easy. Neither the paper was easy nor the paper was difficult. It's only based on your understanding. It was difficult and easy. So what happens? That which is not understandable, we have an aversion to it. But then, a true spiritual walker on that, as I told you about the Jivan Mukta, said that. Each and every, this all I have explained, I think, hundreds of times. I am only repeating it. We are not thinking many things, How do you walk in your way? How do you know the next step you are placing will be stable? You will not fall. We have never thought of it. We took it for granted. Actually, it is like that. The next step I am putting, I do not know whether I will fall or I will walk. What happened? You have created an unconditional faith to that. Why? Because there is no other way. There is no other choice. You have to walk. And this confidence has come because you had been walking. There is a reason behind it. Always cause and effect is always there. There is a reason behind it. But having walked all the way, does it mean the next step you will not fall? So many people have fallen. That experience, you just think about it. Does my walking all the while of so many years, does it have any relevance? Any relevance to my next step I am going to put? Tell me. Is that experience paying me in any way? No. When you strictly look at it, no. The next step is next step new. That's all. Alright? You may argue with me, no, I had been practicing walking from 70 years. How can it be on 71st year? My walking will go wrong. But I can go wrong. So what happened to my 70 years of experience then? Suppose it goes wrong. Okay. Now I ask somebody who has fallen, hey, what is your age? And so and so. What have you been doing then? All these years you are not walking. What will he say? Hey, how do I know the next step I will fall? Is it not? Right? Just think about it. I'm just analyzing practically. How do I know this next step I will fall? Every day I climb the same steps to my house. That day, I also say that it is blindly I walk this path, but suddenly today how it has happened, how it can happen. So what I am trying to tell you is that nothing is earned by experience. Practice, yes. Nothing is earned by experience, what we call it as bhuta. That's why they have divided into 3 kalas. Even though we may say that, oh, I have learned how to read, that's why I am reading today. That's a different thing. I am not talking about it. Abhyasam. Certain abhyasas are there which is not relevant to the next action. Yes, our ego, our mind gains a confidence. Why you are putting the next step is only because of your confidence, not because of your knowledge, is what I am trying to tell you. You are putting the next step is because of your confidence, not because of your knowledge. Because you don't have the knowledge what will happen in the next step. But you have confidence because you had been doing it. So what happens? The experience or the past creates confidence in you, not the knowledge. Well, that confidence is important. It's not that it is not important. It is important, no doubt. I'm talking about the faith here. That's why I've been telling all these things to bring you to the faith. So, now these confidences, the series of confidences. What is the series of confidences you are gaining? Hope you will agree with me, understand me properly. As I told you, the experience has no relation with the knowledge. All these experiences I had been having, we can go out within a fraction of a second and there can be a derailment of my experience. Is it not? We all must have experienced in our life in many occasions. No question is asked at that time, hey, what happened? No, people are cooking. Somebody is cooking for so many years. Even then, in a small thing, a finger has got burnt. You have experience, it is hot, the vessel is hot. You normally use, what do you call that? That kapda, whatever it is, to hold it, insulator, to take it. Either that has slipped or you forgot to take it. No? When you take it, it burned. Somebody asks you, so many years you are cooking, how could you burn your finger? You also will say that, I also wonder, so many days of cooking experience I have got, how did I do this mistake? I don't understand. Am I right? I'm just telling an example. This is how we approach, is not that means your experience did not have any relationship with the knowledge. If the knowledge was there, this would not have happened at all. No? Is that right? So one is confidence. Creating based on the confidence. I know I had been holding this hot vessel for so many years. Let me try. I got confidence. I am lifted. I can take it. Even without the kapda. I can take out. Is that confidence? But the confidence failed in the knowledge. Now, a person who is experienced in the past, who recognizes and realizes through these experiences, that's why Karma Yoga is important also. Through Karma Yoga, he has found out, he has understood, he has established, he has realized, with this, I cannot go beyond this limit. Because I have been doing all these years the same thing, but this one I mistake. That means my experience has no value here. My having all this expertise of this has no value here. That means I did not know about it. That means what is the use of all this? Only thing that has supported me in gaining the confidence of it, so that I have no reluctance to go there, but I do not have the knowledge of it. A person who doesn't relate the past to the knowledge, he will have, it's an experimental experience, he has already experienced it. He will have understood, he would have understood by now that this is not the way. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm not talking about cooking, taking the hot vessel. When I'm talking to spirituality, I come to understand that with my experience of living all these janmas, with sorrows, troubles, sufferings and attachment, attraction and desire, unattachment, and then janma, marana, cycle, with all these things, with so many janmas, I did not understand which way to go for liberation. So there is no other way. I have to do my samarpana to that unknown knowledge, which I have to become known knowledge to me. So what is the necessity? There is no other way. Without experiencing, without expectation, I have to surrender to this. Samarpana has to be done. Then only I will be in a position to acquire that. Because that which was possible by me to acquire, I have acquired. I have learned, I have got the maximum qualification in the university, and I got a good job, I have earned good money, I got a good house, family, I have brought up my children, and I have got sufficient, comfortable living, I have got everything, but something is lacking. This all experience I have done, but with all this good experience, I'm talking only about the good. With all this good experience, I could not get the spirituality, I could not get the liberation, I did not know how the moksha comes to me. I also die like any other. So what happens? Man is always a hunter. He is always wanting to investigate, invent new things to him. No? That's a creation. That's very good actually. So he being a creator, he being an inventor, he being a hunter, he hunts for, all these things cannot or could not give me liberation. So what will give me liberation? That liberation what I should get is unknown to me, is it not? All this experience will not give me any benefit of it. That's why the experiences are not related to this knowledge, what I said. In this connection, don't quote this to something else. It will not match. Only to this situation, it will tally. Okay? Don't say that. No. Don't take it as a word which is. So, this here, what happened? All these experiences of my living, with all my relationship, with all my desire, with all my execution of karmas, could not bring me the proper way to liberation. So in liberation, what to do? So he said, after Vanaprastha, Raja said, after ruling so many days of kingdom, and I am doing so much of karmas, I have fought so many wars, and I have also did so many things, and ultimately what to do? Nothing. Vanaprastha. When he goes to Vanaprastha, see, spirituality is wonderful again. Why they created these positions? When he goes to Vanaprastha, what he does, the king or anybody who has grown to Vardhakya, after Vardhakya, Vanaprastha. In Vanaprastha, what he does? All his experiences, all his expertise, all his earnings, all his attachments, all his desires, everything is left behind, and he goes to an unknown position, to an unknown living. Without carrying anything with him is Vanaprastha. Getting it? Am I right? So in order to have knowledge, what is required? Vanaprastha is required. All this experience, king's experience, I rule when you go to Vanaprastha and sitting under the tree, meditating. Another disciple comes, hey Swamiji, please bless me. What are you talking? You know who am I? I have conquered 15 countries, fought 15 wars. In my kingdom I have kept all those, the crowns of those kings. Go and see in my store. Will he tell that? Will that experience anything to do with that? He will say, what will I do with those crowns and thrones? They are only dream to me, hey Bhagavan, please give me Ashirvad, that's all what I want. No? Will his experience, will his expertise, will his position, past position, will be of any benefit after Vanaprastha? No. I hope you are getting what I am trying to tell you, because it's a difficult subject to explain, as I told you. Faith. I am talking about faith. Now, on what basis Raja has started with one dhoti and one small top, without chappals and without ratha, without army, without chariot, without any, packed food. Suppose I don't get khana there, at least for 2 days, Manu make some Thai sadam and give. He did not say that. Oh, no Thai sadam, no puri, say Gita Abdurrahman. Aloo puri. इसमें क्या नाम है? Which flight is that? No. Indigo. Whether it is indicating or not, it is indigo. So, he doesn't pack anything with him. Whether he gets to eat or not, he doesn't know. Whether he can stay somewhere, he doesn't know. See, I'm just explaining it so that your mind is focused on that, no? I know you know all these things, but you are unable to focus in the normal way. So, when I explain it, you're focusing it. Without any of these things, Raja just gets down from the palace, whichever directions he felt, he just walked. That's all. It's Vanaprastha. To an unknown destination is what is known. Physically, it may happen, it may not happen. It is not necessary for us. It is not necessary. We have to go to the Vana. Okay, it's not necessary. But what he says that after the Vardhakya, our mind should be towards the Vanaprastha. In the sense, no attachment to those experiences and expertise, where I have to go to that unknown field of where is he going for, why is he going for Vanaprastha? To have liberation, mukti, moksha, sannyasa. For sannyasa. So in order to do that, what happens? He has to leave behind all those what he has learned in this, earned and learned in this life. Then he does it. When he goes without all these things, means what? He is doing an absolute samarpanam. In a samarpana bhava, he is just asking the unknown to give me liberation, or to have that attitude to request to the unknown to give me liberation is called faith. If it is known and then you know you will get it, is not faith. You ask your father, you will get 50 rupees, is not faith on the father. It's only on belief on your experience, that's all. So long I am asking, I will get it, I know. My father cannot deny me. You see, who is telling? Not the father, he is telling. He has got a conviction because of the practice. Here, abhyasam. Here it is because of the practice. As I told you, confidence of walking. Because I had been walking for 50 years, the next step I am putting will not have any problem, is called the overconfidence, we said. There's another word. I have not created. No, you have created. Overconfidence, what do you mean by that? Confidence we can understand all these years. What is this overconfidence? To put the next step, the confidence is there. Oh, that's an overconfidence. That's why I, what is that? Fractured my ankle or what is that? Sprained or what is that? Ligament tore. A lot of complications. Why? Overconfidence. What is the reason? Overconfidence. Over the confidence. If you have got all this confidence, it would not happen. Son tells that my father will, I know, he cannot deny me. वो जो भी हम पूछेंगे तो उनको तो देना ही पड़ेगा. ना ही नहीं करें. पहले तो ना बोलेंगे, जरूर जो डांटेंगे, सब कुछ करेंगे. आधे घंटे के बाद बोलेगा चलो बेटा ले जाओ. I know that. So he'll keep on asking. Based on that, he'll keep on asking. Not because the father has told. It is his, attraction and attachment and that sort of belief that whatever in him that I can acquire it from him. Where known factor is there, because it was a practice between the two. It's a known factor. That's not faith, tell you. That's not faith. What is it? Belief. That's called belief. It's not faith. Okay. Here I am talking about the faith which is known as Vishwasa. Vishwasa. Vishwasa is that beautiful. I have explained this earlier also. Vishwasa. Vishwasa is that after leaving the breath, I will breathe again. Even though, what is the basis? There is no basis. There is no belief. There is no experience. Counts on that. Whatever number of breaths I have taken doesn't ensure you to have another breath. Is it not? But I am sure after exhaling my breath, I will inhale another breath. See, in the new breath, what I will earn, I do not know. How I will get the new breath, that also I do not know. How it is coming to me, I do not know. Without knowing any of these bases, calculations, basis, experience, experiments, expertise, everything has no value in my taking the expression. Vishwas is faith. Unconditional. In the next breath, do you have conditions? No. I must have so much percentage of oxygen in the next breath. Then only I will breathe in. If it is less, I won't breathe. Fine, no problem. We don't have any conditions, so Vishwasa has to be there. Grace is that when you have faith, that dependency. In the next breath, what is our dependency? Unavoidable, is it not? Our dependency on the next breath. There is no question of argument there. There is no question of debate there, is it not? When you leave this breath, another breath has to come. I have to take. There is no debate on that. Will you argue on that? Whether I am not well, whether I am angry, whether I am sleeping, whether I am awake, or in whichever position it is, Vishwasa has to be there. Is that right? What is it? An unconditional necessity for the survival. Vishwasa is that. Like you want to take the next breath. Next breath is definitely keeping your prana alive. Or go on. This is called the faith. That means that will do no harm to you. This will only help you. In the next breath, what happens? This will do you expect that this will be poisonous gas? No, you breathe, is it not? Without knowing, you breathe. Your dependency is on that which is not known. Do you know what is going to happen? No. So, your dependency is on what? We are practicing it. That's why I am telling you about the breath. Forget about all other things. Your dependency is on that which is not known to you. Then why are you asking about before having the faith on somebody or something, or the knowledge or Upanishadic knowledge or on the Guru? Show me your credibility to have faith on you. Have you ever asked the credibility of the oxygen that is coming inside? No. Why? You have an unconditional belief that this breath will not spoil me, will only make me live, is it not? You got a total, what do you call it, faith. Same thing happens when you have needing the knowledge to transform yourself, transmigrate yourself. When you want to transmigrate yourself, transform yourself, or you want to liberate yourself from the karma, there is no other way like I am without any expectations, I am taking the next breath without any expectation, unconditionally, I surrender to the knowledge, give me that, that's all. Because I do not know. Approach to the Guru if it is like that. When it is like that, why I am saying all this? Because he has told grace and guidance. I am talking about the grace. So when you have this faith without expectation, what happens? It's a grace given to you by the Guru. When you do not have any doubt on the next breath that you are taking, when you do not ask for the credentials of the breath coming inside you next, when you have completely, unconditionally surrendered to that breath, please come. Indirectly I am saying, please come so that I can survive. When you have this total dependency is called faith. When that faith is there, what happens? The breath, with his grace he comes. Not because you are paid for it, not because of any of his requirements for it, or not for any of the other reasons or any praises or any other things you are taking it. It's if it comes, you can only say that, please come. When the breath comes, it's a grace of whom? It's a grace of the breath that is coming into you so that you can keep your prana alive, is it not? Breath refuses to come. Can you do anything? No. So for you to have that grace, you should have unconditional faith in Vanaprastha. An unconditional faith happens to you, to the Guru, to the Jnaanam. Who is Guru here? Embodiment of the Jnaanam, embodiment of the Brahman. That's all. Reflection of the Brahman. When you have dependency on that, when you have an unconditional surrender to that, yes, then there will be grace from him, is what I am telling. What is a grace? Grace, even if he wants or doesn't want, he will come. He has to come. When you have dependency on the next breath, an unconditional faith on that, the breath has to come. Alright? Now, can you have, now you have told me something very interesting, because some intelligent minds will work like that. Fine, that is wonderful. Now I got the clue. So now from today, morning 1 hour, afternoon 1 hour, evening 1 hour, let me unconditionally surrender to number of breaths. Please, morning till 10 o'clock, 500 breaths. Till 12 o'clock, another 500, set of 500. Tapasya on that. Hey, please, I have unconditional surrender to you. Come before 10 o'clock. After 10, please, I am just having unconditional. Let me have preponed the meditation on that. Keep it now. Safe. Till evening, nothing has to be done. Unconditional has to be done. Can we do it? We can't do it, no? Naturally, I am joking only. Not joking, I am telling you an example. Is it possible? It's not possible. That is why it is known as unconditional surrender, not unconditional surrenders. I hope you got the meaning of it. If you don't get it, I'm sorry, I won't explain it. You cannot have unconditional surrenders. I told you earlier also. On the way Ganesha's temple, I have seen Ganesha, please help me on this subject. I was a little walking on that. Kali is standing there in Manohar Pukukot. Mahakali, say, please. No. Little further away, Nakuleshwar Bhattacharya, Guruvayurappan is standing there. Hey, Guruvayurappan, please. Let it be there, no. See, he will take a little of. He will also take care. She will also take care. Let everybody take care of a little bit. Morning 500 breaths, afternoon 500 breaths, evening 500. Is it not same? I am not discouraging you to pray the gods. No, please do pray gods. That helps us in focusing us. It is absolutely Hindu Tattva. Adi Shankaracharya has created there. He established himself, Adi Shankara himself established so many temples, starting from Badrinath, Kedarnath and whatnot, down south up to Chotanikara, Bhagavati. They all did by Adi Shankaracharya. He is a great knowledgeable person, great Vedanti. Then how did he do it? Only because helping you to focus on surrender. How to surrender. That's it. So you create abhyasa through this surrender. That is why these things are necessary. So I am not against that. Please do it. I have told you an example, the right example, that is not going to save you. You are only practicing surrender when you are praying to different idols. Is why so many idols have been created by Hindu gods. Why? Because to everybody's liking, one can surrender. It is not forceful. No, this one. You surrender only to this. Somebody may not like it. No. Somebody likes Ganesha, somebody likes this, somebody likes that. Fine, no problem, because he knows there is no meaning in the Rupa. It is showing there is only meaning in the Nirakaratvam. So whatever he thinks, he closes his eyes and thinks that's all. He goes to Nirakaratva only. Whether the Akaratva is XYZ doesn't make any difference. But initially, for the first appearance, to have that. So this has been created. Nothing wrong in that. My intention of telling in this instant is not discouraging you from praying anywhere. Please do it. I also do pray. It's not that I am talking. I am only telling you that this is not an unconditional surrender. That's all. The other one is only making you practice how to focus and surrender. But to do the actual surrender is only to one Guru, one Jnaanam, one Brahman. It's only possible. So many surrenders, a human cannot do it. Is it possible? Tell me honestly. You yourself understand. So many surrenders is not possible. Then what happens? If it is divided, then the graces will not be there. You can do it, but grace will not be there. Why the Maharishis and Tapasvis are sitting and doing tapasya with ekagra chitta? one Samarpanam at one point, and he gains the liberation. He gains the Jnanam. He gains the Tattva. Everything is same. For this, there are so many stories. In Purana itself, there are so many stories. There was a fight, I told this story sometime, I think a few months back, with some incidents. In quite long back, it's not today. I think it must be about 1,500 years ago or so. In Kerala, there was a village where the king, normally the Rajas used to maintain the temple and all that. Suddenly there was a shortage of funds for the king. So he said, no more maintenance I can do, close down the temple. So for some time the people have contributed and started running the temple. It doesn't appear, because it is dark first of all inside, we all know that, no? It is dark. Don't know what statue is there inside. So 50% of the village, just telling 50%. 50% of the village people, they go there and pray to Lord Vishnu. The other 50% goes there and prays to Lord Shiva. Vaishnavite and Shaivite, we have got a problem. Like Sunni and Shia. We are not violent, luckily. Not that violent. Here, Vaishnavite and Shaivite, what happened when the temple has to be closed? Closed. One day funds are exhausted, temple closed. Then suddenly Raja became, again, got money and all that. After fighting the war, Raja decided to reopen the temple. So he discussed with the Brahmins there, Panditas there. Now we have to do the reopening of the temple. So naturally Shuddhi Kalasham, other Kalashas, Tantri has to be brought and the puja has to be done, Avahana has to be done, and all these things, the series of 21 days of formalities are there. Then Kumbha has to be changed and many things are there. So let us plan all these things. Also the Mantri, Chief Minister, has taken over the charge and asked the Panditas to come, Brahmins to come. Now there's a big problem. Which vidhi to follow, whether Vishnu has to be established or Shiva has to be established. Big fight. Nothing is moving. 15 days later, Maharaja asked for progress report. Where do we stand? How much you have achieved? Chief Minister was almost losing his job, because he has not crossed anywhere. What is the problem? This is the problem. Now there is fight between Pandits, which deity has to be done avahana there. Normally kings, those days kings I am talking about, they are all spiritually inclined. They are all jnanis, To great extent they are jnanis, like Parikshit, like Pandavas, like Kauravas, even Dhritarashtra. They are all inclined to that. You see, they have got a guru, Rajguru is there, they take their advice and things like that. So the king discussed with Rajguru. Rajguru said, this is absolute foolish. Then what is what to do? So he advised certain things. Then next day, Raja went and said, we will decide who has to do the avahana, whether Vaishnavites or Shaivites. First open the temple, let us examine which vigraha it has got inside. Whichever vigraha we have got inside, you do the avahana of that. Okay. Fine, they decided. Opened the temple, took out, the vigraha was there. They took out and cleaned it and all that. And they saw, what? What is that? A mirror. Maybe a story intentionally made. When mirror asked the Vaishnava to look at it, so he saw him. Shaiva to look at it, he saw the Shaiva. He focused to the vigraha of Vishnu, he saw Vishnu, focused to Shiva. Said that. Raja said, this is what is God. Reflection of everything. That's a mirror. That's all. Reflection of God. So it doesn't make any difference what it is. So both of them joined together. The village became peaceful without any of these conflicts, only by showing them a mirror. It is a mirror. So what I am trying to tell you is that surrender or samarpana has to be done to only. Can be done actually. When we go to Vanaprastha, what we do? Vanaprastha only for what? Let it be any king, any Raja who goes. He is doing samarpana to his Jnaanam and liberation, sannyasa. It's not. He is not doing surrender to anything. So, samarpana has to be to that. The Advaita, everywhere Advaitam. If it is Dvaitam, the Ahankara comes. Dvaita Siddhanta is very much prominent in Western countries. Also, in some part of Asia, it was prominent in Dvaita Siddhanta. As Adi Shankara said, this is that. So, what I was trying to tell you is that about the grace. So, grace is not a small word. You understood now. How can the grace come? Just by saying that, hey Bhagavan, please help me. No. Is not enough externally, but internally if you say, hey Bhagavan, help me, is good enough. It's not good enough, this is good enough. You don't have to even just fold hand and say, hey Bhagavan, help me. When you have faith, when you have totally surrendered, when you have His grace, just one word is enough. It's called the grace. And that grace only, what is guidance? When you have grace of that, where you are unconditionally surrendered, His grace is that, His grace is guiding you. It's a guidance. That's why grace and guidance. Not guidance and grace. Grace and guidance. Who has got the grace? The leader who is walking in the front of the team. He is completely aware what is there in front, or he has decided how to go. So he goes. The others are following. They have to follow with total unconditional surrender. Then he will have grace on them. The grace on them is that he will not go into the wrong path where you will be in trouble. He will be 100% make sure that he is walking on the right path, so that the followers should not have any difficulty. It's called the guidance that comes from the grace. If necessary, if he cannot do it, he will say, stop now. He goes to him, holds his hand and makes him do it. Like Adi Shankara, as I told you last class, Adi Shankara blessed the Todaga Acharya with the knowledge in him. In a fraction of a second, the whole knowledge is in him. This is how it is. Why? Because it only explains about his absolute surrender to him and the grace on him. Am I clear? Do you know now what is grace and guidance? So that's the Upanishad. You see, each, as I told you, they are all sutras. They have to be exploited, explored, interpreted in the right manner, so that the, what for? So that the disciple gets the benefit of traveling in that path with complete control on him. A man who is walking without faith and one walking with the faith, there's a lot of difference. A man who knows about the meaning of grace and the man who thinks, oh, grace is only just like that, walking in the spiritual path, they both have got total difference, isn't it? Absolute difference. So is why he said about the grace and guidance. So with that grace and guidance, so why Narada went to Sanatkumara and then he prostrated in front of him and said, hey Bhagavan, I am in trouble. Even though I know all these things, I do not have the grace. I do not have the grace to come out. Only for what? The grace of to come out of my sorrow, my problem, my trouble. He's got no peace of his sorrow. His sorrows are not able to be removed. So he is in sorrow. He is in what is it I said? Not in peace. So he wants peace. When there is no sorrow, then only there is peace. Or when there is peace, there is no sorrow. So he said, Soham Bhagavo mantra devasmi natma trichada evame iti. It goes on like that. O Venerable Sir, such as I am, I merely know the subjects textually. Sanatkumara, when he asked Narada, what all you know, he explained about all the Vedas, astrology, astronomy, this, that, everything he has covered the whole. So there is no subject that Narada does not know, but he says that I do not have peace. I am in sorrow. So, hey Bhagavan, please help me. Sanatkumara, the Brahmaputra, he said, hey Narada, you only know the words. He said, all these are words? Words. These words externally only you know. He said, you do not know the depth of it. You only know the words on that. You do not have the realization of it in Narada. That is why you have the sorrow. Otherwise, a man like who understood about all this should not have some sorrow and peace of mind. Who knows all the Vedas, all the Upavedas, all the astrology, astronomy, all the Ayurveda, and all the Jyotisha Shastra and this Shastra, everything he knows, but they are all known to him by heart, and he is able to recite it, he is able to tell that, he is able to explain it, he can do it, but he has not transformed himself into it completely. That surrender did not happen to him, but he is aware of, he is knowledgeable. But he did not surrender to that. He has not become that. So he said, I have sorrow. What he said? I have sorrow. I have no peace of mind. So, hey Bhagavan, tell me the path. How can I get peace of mind? How can I remove this sorrow from me? Is what? Request of Narada to Sanatkumara. You must be thinking, what is so great about it? We have it every day. Narada only once in a while. No peace of mind, sorrow. So, Bhagavan says, Sanatkumara said, yes, I have heard you. It has been heard by me from venerable people like you that the knower of the self goes beyond sorrow. Such as I am full of sorrow, oh venerable sir, please take me beyond sorrow. See, his question is also wonderful now. He is not telling that remove my sadness, give me peace. No, he is telling that one is that Adhyayema, he said. Make me pass through that. Adhyayema. Another he says, take me beyond sorrow. He doesn't say, remove my sorrows. No. There is no personal requirement. There's a great difference, What we pray is that, mera ye dukh jo nikal do. Dukha Harini, Hanuman Chalisa. So that my dukha, please transfer it on somebody to somebody's head, so that let him, if you want, I will sign it in the stamp paper. you give this dukkha to him, inheritance. This is what we pray. But what Narada prayed to the Guru? Hey Bhagavan, take me beyond the sorrow. Here, the individual sorrow is not there, an individual is not there. Narada is asking, remove me, take me above the sorrow means, take me above this negativity. Not that my negative reactions of sorrow in me. No. Take me above this negative, or take me above this ignorance of sorrow, what I have. Take me above this ignorance, not take the sadness from me. No. He doesn't have sadness. Remember that Narada, we are talking about Narada, great scholar. He doesn't have sorrow, but he has a, why he is selling, what is the subject which has come? Why he is saying that the peace and sorrow? It's not that he individually doesn't have peace and sorrow. It is that aguna or nirguna or durguna, or the ignorance that he has come across, he is unable to understand and know how to overcome this ignorance of sadness and ignorance of agitated mind or disturbance of peace. Not his peace, not his sorrow. Okay. Like there is flood, many people are suffering, we all contribute something or other in the form of money, in the form of clothes. Some people personally, they do the contribution to help them out. Yes. Actually we are, what are we calling all of them? We call them flood victims. Am I right? We are not telling Rama, Krishna or Govinda or Sheshadri or Narayana Sharma or Tripathi ji is in flood waters. Let us save them. We are not telling that. What are we doing? Let us save the flood victims. Your service is only for that. What is it actually? You are not saving the individuals. You are saving the sufferings which is caused by the flood. Even if you save one person, you have saved a flood victim, not Mr. So-and-so. Now so many people, dead bodies have been recovered of that Air Asia from that sea. They cannot recognize whom they have recovered. They have recovered those people who have been trapped, who have been crashed, dead in that incident. So we don't save the like that. More or less. Have we got it? So Narada, so don't misunderstand Narada. Oh, why that he has got so? He is a knowledgeable man. Why he has got it? So what is the use of our learning Upanishad if Narada could not get it? Should not compare like that. This will come. No, mind is very tricky. Always find the bypass, not the pass. So I am cutting the bypass and making the pass straight. You see, that's right. So why Narada said that? It is not this, no, like flood victim or drought victim or no people who are suffered in that, no train accident victim, no victim. His intention is what? How this ignorance of that victim, how this ignorance of the no peace, how the ignorance of the sorrow can be overcome by me. This comes to me quite often when I see, because he travels all over the world, all over the universe, he travels all over. So he finds, he come across and he doesn't know how to do that. So how to overcome this? He's not talking about this one again. It is the sorrow itself, how to overcome that. I am not aware of this knowledge. This knowledge will you please impart me? I am not able to get it, even though I have studied all this and I have practiced all this and I am eligible for. He can go straight away to anywhere. Straight away you can disappear, appear in front of Vishnu, Shiva, everywhere he can go. To an Asura, he can collect information just like that. He knows what is going to happen, what is happening inside Vishnu's mind, he knows. But he doesn't know this. But it is there. Sorrows are there in the world. Peace of mind is not there in the world. The peace is not there in the world. So he says, hey Bhagavan, how to overcome this Jnaanam is the question Narada asked the Sanatkumara, considered him as a great Guru. Hey Mahan, hey Bhagavan, please tell me that, he says. So So why is, I will also say that here, Swamiji writes here, he tells him, I am ever under sorrow because of the sense of unfulfillment. Bhagavan, Tarayatu, may the Venerable Sir take me, who am such, to the other shore of the sea of sorrow. It's exactly what I was telling, that meaning. Other side of the sea of sorrow, with the help of the right of the knowledge of the self. Hey Bhagavan, will you please take me across the sea of sorrow, ocean of sorrow, with the help of the boat of knowledge? Yes, with the help of a raft of knowledge of the self, he says. So if you make me know if you give me the knowledge, that will help me to cross the ocean of the sorrow which is bothering me. Why it is bothering me? Because I am not finding a fulfillment in that. I got unfulfillment. It's not that he doesn't know about it. He doesn't have the fulfillment on that. I want to have the fulfillment, but I have an unfulfillment. Fulfillment and unfulfillment I have also explained earlier. Fulfillment comes when there is nothing more to pour in the glass. The glass is, even to the last drop of it is occupied, is the full capacity of the glass, is the fulfillment. Something is left out is unfulfillment. Something more can be accommodated. Narada, he want to have all the knowledges. Something else has been left out to complete that knowledge. Unless that is completed, it will not be identified as that fulfillment of the knowledge. So, the unfulfillment is there, only sorrow and no peace to the mind is the question. Is why he says, the meaning is, may you take me, attain the conviction of the fulfillment, make me attain the fearlessness. Here also he explains what is that fulfillment of sorrow and peace means the fearless fear. He knows what is the meaning of sorrow. Sorrow is fear. Peace of not having peace of mind is also fear. So he says, when you give me this knowledge, I will have the fulfillment, and once I have the fulfillment of the self, then I will have fearlessness. When the fearlessness comes, then the sorrow and the peace will go away and the peace of mind will retain. So you tell me how it can be attained. So he said, Nama Varagveda Yajurveda Samaveda Atharvana Chaturithihasa Purana Panchamo Vedanam Veda Pitryo Jashidevo Nidyavarko Vakyamevagayanam Deve Vidya Brahma Vidya Bhuta Vidya Kshatra Vidya Nakshatra Vidya Savajana Vidya Namaivadan Namo Parasveti. Bhagavan says, they're all names. Hey Narada, whatever you have explained now, They are all names. What you have done? The Prakriti, it's a big subject, even though it's not explained completely. They have explained about this paragraph on this. It's not possible. It's not Maharishis. He says that name indeed is Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvana Veda, history, mythology, the fifth Veda, grammar, the five Vedas, Upavedas, the rites of the mains, mathematics, subject of natural disturbances, then mineralogy, logic, ethics, etymology, the subject of ancillary knowledge of him concerning of the Vedas, the science of elements, science of archery, science of astronomy, science of serpents, science of subject of fine arts, all this, but name. This is the paragraph it says. Hey Narada, they are only names. What does this guru, gurus are also like that sometimes. Don't know what happens. Narada will understand. What we will understand, we will say only. Rigveda is only name. Now what will I understand? Yajurveda is only name. Astronomy is only name. Nama. Sayo Namaha. Yo Namaha. Everything is name. Narada, you understood them in names. Beautiful. I'll tell you I would like to explain it. Do you mind? Because I'll go out of this, I like it sometimes. But gist of it I'll tell you, because today we will stop it. It's very interesting. Namam. He says, the great Guru says, hey Narada, hey Deva Rishi, hey Maharishi, hey Narada. They respect each other, no? Even though he's a disciple. Listen to me. So Narada is sitting with folded hands, listens of him. That small Sanatkumara, according to Purana, they say they are small, no? Sanat, Sanandan, Sanathan, Sanatkumara, they are small. He's sitting, telling him, hey Narada, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Atharvana Veda, and Samaveda, and the Upavedas, and the Shastra, and Jnaanam, everything, they are all Nama Matram for you. Not, he did not say they are only names. They are all Nama Matra for you. This is what I wanted to listen from you, hey Narada. It's not that, as I told you yesterday, Guru knows why the disciple has come. No? He may not tell initially, reluctant, slowly. Hey, Guru, I just came to see you. I'm just telling in our language. When you go to the Guru's. Before that, the Guru has seen. As I told you, Vishavaidhyas, when he starts, he knows. So by the time he started, he knows he has already started and this is the purpose. No? But just came to see you. Okay, fine, no problem. And you see how these days the temperature is about 11.5 degrees centigrade. It's very light. That's what the instrument shows. That's very true. And slowly we'll come to the subject. Problem is this, you see, that I have, or this one and that one and this one, you see. Something will come out. By the time, Guru already knows. But he wants the disciple to express it. This is the rule, It is a rule by the Vedanta and the Vedic scriptures that when he goes, he will tell, even though he knows about it, they are all antaryamis, they know. But it is he who has to ask for it. See, Bhagavan Krishna's parents. No, they are the Yashoda and Nandalal. when the child was brought there, and then they took the Bhagwan to the Rishi to have the Namakaranam. No. It has to be quietly done, because Kamsa knows if there is any newborn baby, they will kill. So quietly, with secret arrangement, the Muhurtam has to be fixed, Namakaranam has to be done. So he takes the child to him. Before he was born and before he was brought to Nandanar, Maharishi knew this is what is going to happen. So what happened? He has already written down and kept all the documents. At this and this time, this is what the child will be brought, and this should be his name. He is already known to him. So when he went for asking for appointments and making fixed the ceremony date, he has already known about everything, and he told him that these are the things going to happen. So you don't come on such and such day, you come in this way, hiding, so that no, this man will not see, and all the details he has told. But even all these things knowing, when after all these things happened, you read the Purana Bhagavata, you will know about it, or Mahabharata, you will know about it. When he has taken Lord, the Bhagwan, to Maharishi, as soon as it, then he said, he is the one who told everything. Still, when he went there for Namakaranam, he asked, the Maharishi asked the first question, if you note down, it is written there. Tell me, Nandana, what should I do for you? What can I do for you? Then Nandana says, Bhagavan, you have given me the time. You have told me to bring this child such and such for the Namakaranam. Yoka, everything is ready, he said. You see, but he wanted him to tell that he has come for the Namakaranam. He says, everything is ready, I will dispose of you very fast so that you don't have to stay here too long. What I am trying to tell you is that Sanatkumara knew Narada is coming, and this is what is his problem. But he says, he wanted him to tell, and once he has told, immediately without thinking, otherwise, tell me to a person like Narada what reply one should give. He says, I know all these things, and then what explanation should I give? Why am I not having peace and why am I not having sorrow? Who knows all the vidyas in the universe? There is no vidya left, including archery also. If you don't tell, I will also shoot you. Archery also no. Knew already. By the time he finished his question, Sanatkumara said, hey Bhagavan, you are talking only about the names. He wanted to test Narada what he will tell. So he told about the subjects, about the books and about the granthas that he has studied. He did not tell what? What he didn't tell? The knowledge that is containing in all those books. So what he has studied? He has studied the names of the books, not the knowledge of the book. Is that he says, Nama, hey Narada, is how he starts. Now you can imagine how beautiful it is, no? You have never thought of it? This Upanishad, Chhandogya Upanishad, Katha Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, this Upanishad, everything we have taken, ultimately name them books, knowledge, and explanations on that, details of that. Okay, this is what has happened on such and such day, this is this thing, everything. But what happened? That what it contains has not been told by Narada, just explained. I know all this. Is how he begins his teachings or his advice, his yamam through adhyaya. Adhyatma's yamam begins. Now he says in different words he said. Then when you say adhyayami, And they are me going through it is not. So he says that I will take you through, not through the names, but I will take you through the Jnaanam. When it is done, when you travel through that, it is over. In some countries or even in India it is there, I don't know. When you take the car on one side and bring it on the other side, complete painting and everything is polishing, everything is done. Automatically. It will be looking different. Adhyayama. Same way, Narada will be taken through it when he comes out, a different person. Yes. Is what he is trying to do. So starting with saying that from where he has to start. Always the Guru starts from where the disciple knows. What is the disciple knowing here? He knows the names, Nama. So he is starting with Nama, that's all. Up to that he knows. After that only he doesn't know. So Guru begins, Nama Matayana He Sayo Nama. That's all. He starts from that. Now he will explain how to travel through that Jnanam to the Brahman. This is what the rest of the book. It's very fast, one can go also, no problem. There are about a few subjects he talks about through which he can travel through. Ultimately, you reach the true Brahman. Only something is, so much we have completed, so much is left. Shiva Shiva.